gotta go out of the desert and shoot some night vision, then I'll get it. That's where it comes in.
Yep.
What's up, everybody? This is Gunz and Stuff. I am Daniel, and I'm here in Las Vegas at QVO Tactical with...
Roger, I'm here.
Roger, he's here. He's killing it. So, if you don't know, QVO, they just make some of the most amazing, dope holsters. Like, I was back in the shop seeing the stuff they do. Like, it's legit amazing. So, tell us who you are, how'd you get here, what's going on here in Vegas?
Okay. My name's Roger. I own a company called QVO Tactical. We make holsters and gear. We also film some content on our YouTube channel.
Dope content.
But I got into the holster business through my career in law enforcement. I was a police... Oh, you got it? You want to...
Have y'all seen this? Like, oh, I messed it up.
Very young 21-year-old Roger right there. But I was a police officer here in Las Vegas for a long time. And during that time, I was using gear that to me just was suboptimal. So I started learning about...
Suboptimal, that's so nice.
There's just, you guys all know how it is. You have like the certain brands, certain products you use because they just work better for you. So I found that for me and a lot of the people that are buying the products, obviously for them as well, liked what I was doing. So I ended up going back to school, became an art major, and for the last 8 years now, I've been running my company. Yeah.
Man.
After 8 years of hard work, I'm an overnight success.
Overnight success, 8 years of the making. Anything worth everyone who's like, man, you just popped up. They've been doing this joint for forever. You just noticed for now. All right, enough of that. Let's get into some questions.
Let's do it.
Cool. Recommendations on an affordable optic cut armor, Hollow Sun, Slide 3 for Gen 3.
I think everybody's pretty affordable. I think it's more finding the company like that's going to have a shorter lead time.
I think that's important too. Pretty much... Quality control has pretty much been standardized at this point. Every company that's been doing terrible work, just people stopped going there. So what I look for is short lead times and just consistent work. JagerWorks does good work.
And also, like if you might just want like a one-stop. So, like you go to JagerWorks, you can get everything done. Dynamic Weapon Solutions, you go there and get everything done. You know what I mean? So if you just want a slide cut, honestly, like a lot of times I used to look for like. Newer companies that were just getting in, like that had backgrounds in machining, but were getting into this area because then they were likely to have lower prices and a way quicker lead time.
Thoughts on Canic pistols? So I get this question a lot. Thoughts on Canic pistols? Roger, where are you on Canic pistols?
I've only shot them
once.
once.
With thousands of dollars of guns in front of us, where are you on Canics?
I have a lot of buddies that run them. Me personally, I ran them once during a range event, like a training day, and honestly, like they performed well. Like. I know that they're really big on like having an affordable price point, which isn't always a bad thing, but I don't have enough time behind it to be like, oh, I would definitely carry it, or no, I wouldn't. I will say that as I ran them, they felt comfortable in the hands, and there were no malfunctions, so, but that was also only about 100 rounds.
CCW holster, also for subcompact CZ or Shield.
Hey, I know a guy. He makes holsters.
Vegas, he makes dope holsters.
Your CZ subcompact is the CZ P10S. Yep, we make them for those. And the M&P Shield, that's one of our first holsters. Yeah, we still make it.
Here's a shorter list. What gun don't you make holsters for?
Let's see. Canic, we do not make. CZ Shadow, we do not make. The SIG 226, we do not make. The ones that I'm listing, guys, are ones that we get a lot of requests for, so they eventually probably will become a holster that we make. We tally all the ones that we get continually asked about, and then we bring it to market.
Ah, okay. So there's like 3 guns. Everything else you can get a holster for. You can get a holster for this. Lead time's going to be a little bit further than the normal lead time.
Believe it or not, there is a Flux holster out there from us.
And it's inside the waistband, right? Just don't sit down. Okay, should I suppress my do-wall? Yes, suppress it all. I don't have to read the rest. Put a can on everything.
Suppress everything.
Put a can on.
I literally have 3 11.5s in the other room that are all suppressed.
Is there a distance that suppressing becomes ridiculous, or that you need to get a crazy size can that you'd put on?
There's a distance that you need to worry about warranty-wise, and I found this out. I don't want to say the hard way, but just like, whoops. A lot of manufacturers look at your warranty on your suppressor, like even like Surefire, one of my favorite suppressor companies, they're not going to warranty under 10.5.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
I have 7.5 guns that I was suppressing, not realizing that. So, say something was to go wrong with my suppressor on my 7.5 gun, it's not going to fall within the warranty.
Is that just 5.56?
I think it's a caliber specific and varies.
Okay.
But
so 300, you can go shorter.
I believe so. So like, but every single one of them is gonna have different specs and what they'll like. I learned this as I started getting in the suppressor game. Like, hey, like this is only like some of them will say, hey, you can go 7.5 or 10.5, but not full auto rated. Like, in the can will be like, hey, if you're running a 12.5 or longer, you can have it full auto rated. It's good to go. But if you're running a 10.5 full auto rated, it's not gonna go. They won't warrant it. So if you hit them up like, hey, my suppressor, like I got a baffle strike and it failed me. What were you running? Oh, we were doing select fire on a 10.5, you know, HK 416. Like, not gonna fly.
So all I heard was tell them you were doing a 18-inch PRS match, and that's where it went down. One round in a minute.
Keep the more you know.
The more you know. Do you really need suppressor height sights with a red dot on a pistol?
Oh, I'm about to give an unpopular opinion here.
Go for it.
No.
So someone asked me this today, and they're like, what suppressor height sight should I get for my gun? And I'm like, I run Amerigo sights. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea if they work or not because I've never actually used them. Like, for me, the durability and the technology in a red dot today is to the point where I think it's legit. The one exception is every time I hear someone shooting competition, my red dot went down and I had to finish the stage. Besides that, like if you're in a self-defense shooting and your red dot goes down, you're gonna keep doing work till you're ready to go. So I don't. Thoughts on irons?
Would I want them? Sure, but would I like the current carry gun that I have? The way it's set up with the 509T, the plate makes it sit too high, so I don't have them. Does that make me not carry it? No, the 509T is like, you know, if you watch any Hollow Sun video that Aaron Cowan's done, like things bomb proof. So I agree with you. The technology is there nowadays to where, you know, the RMR Type 2 coming out being specifically made for handguns. You know, like the first RMR, a lot of malfunctions were happening because like the RMR wasn't originally designed to go on a reciprocating slide. It was supposed to be mounted on top of an ACOG, and so it's not reciprocating. You know, taking all that huge recoil and impact, that harsh recoil and impact. So I think what you just said is like spot on. Like with the technology now, they're reliable enough. Now, is there anything wrong with getting suppressor height sights? No, there's nothing wrong with having fail safes. I mean, but like, do you need them? No. Like, would I not grab this gun if I was gonna, like, if I needed to get into a shooting because it doesn't have backup iron sights? No, I would still grab it and trust the red dot.
So for me, like with irons, they're not going to inhibit me from doing anything. So I'm gonna throw them on my gun as a backup. Like if it was a major failure, there was a big issue. But honestly, realistically, you don't need them. So
I will say, like, and it's funny that this question just came in. I think Night Vision just posted a photo. I only got to read a little bit of the description, but I think they're coming out with instead of like suppressor height sights, like optic height sights, meaning wider spread rear to where it's not. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, it takes up so much of your window," so they're thinking, "Okay, well, we just want them as backups. They're not gonna be primaries. So what if we made it to where there's a wider rear notch?" So it's more
field of view.
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart. That's really
2021 people.
Catch up. Like for real, I just run a front post, like, and just call it a day. Like you're point shooting anyway, and you're not. Where's that? You're not taking a 100-yard shot in an emergency. How do you store your? Okay, I get this asked every time. How do you store your mags? How do you store your ammo? How do you store your loaded mags, empty mags? Quick lowdown on ammo storage.
I just leave it in the mag.
Okay, great. So that's what I do. I'm trying to figure out if there's like some super scientific thing for this.
I remember like police days, everybody's like, oh, you know, unload your mags. Like, and there were guys in the locker room that unload their stuff. I carry a 1911. I had mags that were loaded for over a year. No spring tension issues. Still cycled fine. Buy quality mags. Like, I didn't have any issues. And I was running triple Cormacs at the time. Like, I don't have anything that I've like. I will say this: every year I shoot out all the duty ammo that I carry for that year, and I replace it. Like this year, I just, you know, and it's a 1,000-round case I have to buy every year. I don't even go through it all. So like, you'll go through 500 of it, and I'll switch to the other 500. So, but I do that.
One thing I was going to say, I think a lot of, now I'm not going to say myths, but thoughts about firearms are based on older guns.
Sure. Where it was a real
Where it was shooting steel case through your like really old gun.
I still load 28 rounds in my mags, but then I realized like when I'm on range not counting because I'm like listening to the instructor like, oh, and then I realized I maybe loaded 32 and I don't have any issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With like newer P mags and Lancer mags and like the Dura mags, like.
Unpopular opinion I share a lot, it probably doesn't matter. A lot of people ask me specific questions, and it's usually newer shooters who just heard a bunch of horror stories. You'll be fine. Get out and train. Local training or seek out the big names and travel.
This is a good question.
That's a really good question.
I take at least one class every year, and I'm not trying to down I'm from a no-name instructor. And the reason being, like, as our social media following has grown, like, I'll sometimes go to classes and people know who I am versus I want to go somewhere where they have no idea, because then all of the feedback I'm getting, I know is 100% objective. So when they tell me, like, hey man, you're anticipating, and I can tell, and you're breaking a little left, I completely go, man, like they know nothing about me, so it just makes it easier for me to, it's like trying to change your significant other. Yeah. Oh man. Versus like taking them to a class and having somebody else do it, so they know, like, oh, my boyfriend tells me that all the time. Yeah, well, because
I wonder why. So I live in the Northeast, where there's about 6 states in the area that this one state takes up. And I get the question a lot. People are like, I live in New York, who's a good trainer here? If you draw a 4-hour circle from wherever you live, you will find some legit training. And you get horror stories. This instructor was bad, this instructor sucks. I always say travel, training is like a gun. I almost would say better training is better than a better gun. Like, you'll learn stuff that you can apply a lot longer. So go out, get really good training, and don't be afraid to travel. You go 4 hours, it'll be legit.
Do both. Like, so I had the opportunity last year. I got to go to the Surefire event, and I got trained with like Bill Blowers, Bill Rapier, well-known high instructors, highly qualified instructors in the country, and it's awesome. It's great. At the same time, I've trained with other instructors who I've never heard of that I picked up a lot from. And especially, like, not just for, like, if you're a new shooter and you're getting educated to, you know, the 4 quadrants, and you're getting to the point where you're consciously competent, so you're starting to know what you need to know, versus, woo!
Did you see my hair wave as it went right over my head?
But a lot of you guys out there, I get feedback from, like, hey, like, what do you recommend if I want to get into instructing? Go to as many classes as you can, because you're going to see what resonated with you and what stuck with you, so then use that technique in your classes.
I heard someone say you don't know what you don't know, and when you go to a class, and then that thing clicks off, and then it applies to other things. So get a wide range of class. If you go to a bad class, you may have to leave halfway through because you don't want to get shot, but you'll also learn and you'll get more information from that. So
I've been instructing for 10 years now, and I still go to classes. I took the guys to a Brittany May class here like a month ago, and I picked up like 3 things. I'm like,
shout out to Brittany May and Triac.
Yeah, I picked up 3 things, and I was like, man, I didn't think about that.
Favorite concealed carry gun? 1.
What day of the week are we talking about?
It's Saturday, and you're so this is the last gun you can carry. So not just your favorite shooting gun, but reliability, fixing it, hands down, duty. You gotta do whatever you gotta do for the rest of your life. Favorite carry gun?
Oh, it's Glock 19. Then,
Glock 19.
It's just gonna work.
So Glock 19 over the OZ9.
Yeah, the Glock, it's got more time behind it, man. It's got more, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a fan of the Glock grip angle, but I know that I could pick up any. I'm not a fan of the Glock 19 grip angle, but I have 7 Glock 19s.
Okay. I hate the Glock. It's dumb. How many you got? Don't worry about that.
It's not that. It's just like if I went back to shooting Glock and just stuck at it for a year, then my natural presentation decided to line up perfectly.
So update to the question: any carry gun with ultimate aftermarket support, meaning if it goes down, you can get it fixed. So this isn't like end of the world. There's nothing to fix it, but like.
Well, after this week, man, this thing, dude.
What is that?
That's the Staccato C2 Duo. It's honestly, it's a mini XC. So this is one of our videos coming out soon. So you're showing this the first time ever.
Ooh, got the exclusive.
It's a C2 Duo that's been machined out with a single huge integral port that pretty much just makes it a mini XC. Like the Staccato XC is my favorite 2011 to shoot, but I wouldn't carry it because the trigger is so light. So this is a standard carry trigger. Then you have a fully enclosed 509T optic, and I'm a big fan of the 1911 2011 gripping.
So I made a prediction. I'm gonna call it now. 2021 is gonna be the year of the comped aftermarket gun.
I don't know, man. That's been like my last 2 years.
You don't count because you've been ahead of the curve, but like I think this is going to be like
that thing is so flat too, man.
Like this is gonna be the new Roland special where everyone does it, and I think the big thing that's gonna need to happen is a lot of companies are gonna need to come out and do support for it, because I know there's a few specialty houses that do it really well, and then some weird hacked ups. I know one dude I was talking with, it took him 4 months to get his barrel back. He sent it out to get it milled. So I think if lead times can come down and consistency can stay up, I think because they're so legit. Because you don't have to worry about the huge comp on the end of it. And if you're using it at self-defense distances, 3 inches, 4, 6, it's not going to make a huge difference. We cannot spend this much time on these questions. Why did you start shooting? I'm going to answer this for him. It was my job. Why did I start shooting? I'm allergic to dying.
That's the incorrect answer to mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, why did you start shooting?
Team Fortress Classic and Counter-Strike.
Ooh, so video games.
Yeah.
Are you the first person in your family to get into guns?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Is that why you're so into video games now?
I've been a game. As a police officer, I would take vacation time to go get in line and get Call of Duty at GameStop at midnight, and then take the next 4 days off to not get out of my chair and play.
So you were the guy who stacked up PTO just to...
Yeah.
Good stuff.
100%.
Why did you get into shooting video games?
Yep, for me.
Good stuff, good stuff. Why did I get into shooting? I shot paintball guns and airsoft guns, and I'm like, this is fun, what's next? So that's how I got into shooting. Best drop leg holster. Y'all keep asking questions that are going to make me go into a lot of stuff. QVO makes the best drop leg holster. I would say if you don't know why, don't get a drop leg holster. Thoughts on drop leg holsters?
I think that a lot of people misconstrue what a drop leg holster really is. I think a dropped and offset holster is probably what you're more thinking of, where you still see that leg strap, but a real drop leg holster is one that actually has like a
strap,
like a shroud coming off of your belt that goes down to your thigh, which if you're not like, they're made so that it can clear heavies, meaning like SWAT teams that are running like full kit and they can't get to their waistline, so they have to reach all the way down their leg. That's what a real drop leg holster is used for. What I think you're referring to is a dropped and offset holster, and honestly, it depends on the purpose. So if you need a duty one, Safariland, in my opinion. If you need just an open top holster because you want to drop and offset, QVO secondary, Tier 1 makes good ones, T-Rex makes good ones. Like there's awesome companies out there.
I think the Safariland ULB, the mid-ride. UBL, close enough. I think that's what most people are thinking when they say drop leg holsters. And I like that because it's a little bit closer to where my hands are. If your gun is further away from where you present it, that's a little bit more time to get it into the fight. So know why you want to do it and have a reason behind why you're doing something. But yeah, so good drop leg holster, QVO. And what's this color?
That is the Tiger Stripe Ombre. It's the Call of Duty skin.
Call of Duty skin. That's dope. They have the sickest skins here. Why did you get into media arts? This is a really good question. Why did you get into media arts?
So I've always been, I used to draw a lot when I was a kid. And then it kind of lined up when I started QVO, went back to school for art. So like all the content, if you follow what I do, like all of my photography, videography, everything is actually I do it. I got to go to Nikon Academy last year. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't know you like gun people. That's good stuff. If y'all don't know, like Roger is which is why I'm here, which is why I love this man. He's a phenomenal content creator. Like he puts together.
That means a lot coming from him.
Amazing looking stuff. Like go to his YouTube channel. Like he puts crazy informative, great looking content. So that's a huge reason why I'm a big fan of everything he does. And he kills the holster game too. You usually don't see people doing that. You have terrible advertising and great. Anyway, I'm not gonna get it. Why did I get into media arts? Because I enjoyed it. I like being able to see something and then try to replicate it and figure out how it works in After Effects.
Isn't there like such a huge sense of accomplishment with that?
Yes!
Or like when you have something in your head and you literally make it come to life.
Like I see it, and then like, or for me it's music. Like I hear a song and I see a video, and then when you finally put it here, like, yo, that's exactly what I wanted to do.
I think of like, and as corny as it sounds, like when James Cameron did Titanic and when he saw it come to life, I feel like it was such a success because he flat out was like, literally what I imagined in my head is what we created. Yeah. And I think, I'm going to go onto my spiel, my soapbox. I think the most important thing to be a content creator and a successful one is you have to enjoy it. Like you gotta love like the process of making a piece of content, like making a video. And if people enjoy it, if people like it and it blows up and it goes viral, that's like a byproduct. But like for me, I love guns and stuff because I get to make something that I really enjoy, that looks the way I want it to, that sounds the way I want it to. That's why I reached out to you, man. I remember looking at this, I'm like, what is this? Who decided to finally start recording in, portrait and using like an actual camera that's going to give you like, you know, you're running a fast lens. I'm like, that's a 1.4, it's a 1. It's something. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? I was like, nothing. Let me message this guy.
Like, I legit sat down. I'm like, I'm going to make the dopest IG stories as humanly as much as I can without my wife finding out I'm spending all of our money. So, like, even not to have, well, I just wanted to make something really cool that I enjoyed, and it turned into this. So that's why I love media. That's why I love art. And if you want to be, I get a lot of questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? You gotta love it, and you gotta love the process of actually doing it. Because it's gotta suck in the beginning.
And you gotta start. Like, you can't improve on anything and you start. I have so many friends that I'm helping do content and have yet to put out the video because like, I want it to look like yours. If you followed any of that, go back and look at my first vlog. It is trash.
1 MOA or 3.2 MOA RMR?
My opinion, for RMRs, the smaller the better.
That only plus RMRs. Next question. Complete upper recommendation is pin and welded. Does anyone do that at the factory? This is a Maryland question, I think. Cause
I did my 14.5 pin and welder from ADM.
They did it? ADM. You go with them. Clubhouse. I'm already on Clubhouse. You obviously haven't looked me up. I'm on Clubhouse. Now, am I ever doing anything on Clubhouse? No. But I am on Clubhouse.
I don't know what Clubhouse is.
You're not missing anything. Vertex.
Yeah.
Vertex. I know Eberly stock is good stuff. I see people running that stuff too.
The Vertex range bag, to me, like, it has drawers in it. Like, that is so useful.
It is dope. It's really legit. Check out, like...
It's sitting right there.
There's a reason certain brands are really popular. Grab Vertex. Swamp Fox. That's why I thought it was a Swamp Fox. Thoughts on Swamp Fox?
I like that they are making a super small optic that's metal housed, metal casing. I haven't messed with them enough. I do know that they don't put a rear notch in, so like to make it like run like a back of iron. So that kind of bugs me.
Yeah.
But I haven't tested it enough. I know we talked about the whole like red dots being super reliable, but I don't know enough about them.
That's a big deal. People are like, what's the best thing? Like, for me, I like Hollow Sun and I like TreasureCon. There's a lot of great stuff out there. I don't know enough about Swamp Fox, and I haven't seen... Has Aaron Callan run one?
No.
So, red dot. For real, my opinions on red dots are solely based on whatever Aaron Callan says. I just spit back out whatever he puts on YouTube. Like, he is the OG of red dot testing.
It's gonna survive whatever you put it through.
Yeah, there is no way you're gonna be able to put it through. Man, he runs it what, on a Glock 18 or an auto sear? Like,
how about the fact he just drops them all and my heart breaks every time?
He's like, this is the drop test. Here we go. So yeah, check out Aaron Callan, Sage Dynamics on YouTube. Like, legit the OG of red dots. TR7A or the X300?
Both. This is more comfortable, don't get me wrong. But I'm used to this from using it more. So, but they're both very doable. Concealed carry though, EDC, my opinion, TR7A is gonna be more comfortable.
I think outside the waistband, duty rig, classes, beat the crap out of it. EDC every day. I'd probably go with the TLR.
Watch Sam Pitchfork and do a ton of dry fire training.
Dry fire is super important. People will get mad at me if I could do one thing, dry fire or live fire. I would do dry fire. A lot of people don't know this. My daughter was in the hospital for a year, and I basically didn't shoot for about 9 months, but I was able to dry fire, and my skills, I was able to maintain my speed and my consistency. Now, after the second round, stuff fell apart, and I had to figure that out, but dry fire is one of the best things you can do. That's it. We're done.
Hey-o.
Good stuff. That's how you say it. All right, guys. That was Guns and Stuff with QVO Tactical. Roger, thank you so much for doing this. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning or 1:53. Thank you so much for doing this. How can people get in contact with you? What can they do to get one of these dope holsters? Did I break? I just got. Okay, cool. So, how can people get in touch with you?
Website, QVOTactical.com. You can find us on QVO_Tactical here on Instagram. If you DM our account, I am the one that messages back, and I answer every DM. So
he really does. He really does. Sometimes I'll just be at 3 in the morning. Yo, bro, what's up?
Yeah.
He answers. All right, that's it for Guns and Stuff. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I cannot wait to hang out with you next week for some more Guns and Stuff. I flew out of DCA Inauguration Day with a Pelican case with a bunch of guns and ammo. So...
How'd that go?
It was fantastic because I got to the airport at 4 a.m. for an 8 o'clock flight. Right. So I planned ahead. I planned to spend an hour and a half in handcuffs.
So